Alright, hello everyone. This is Soul17 here, and let me produce like usual. I don't know this picture. This is not a paid video. Alright, okay. So here's the thing. I tried to make this video twice. Alright, twice. No, 3 times now. And one time I was just too tired. I messed up. Another time, I messed up, and my dad interrupted me on the third time. Alright, so here's what's happening. This is a what if Deku got cheated on. Alright, and the backstory. Hiei, this is Hiei. Yu Yu Hakusho, a good character. I like him. He's very powerful. So yeah. So we're gonna give a quick detail. Hiei basically dissolved the dragon of the darkness flame too much. He became the dragon himself. Basically, if he transformed to his full power form, he would basically be the dragon, and he'll be too dangerous. His Yusuke, Karama, whoever that guy name was with the sword and all. His family, besides Bato, that girl with blue hair that was lead Yusuke to, that he was dead and all. So she's alive, but he hasn't seen her that much because he stays in the demon world a lot. So hey, he says he wants to pass on his power, but he doesn't have a feel. He has a feeling that no one in this world can handle it. So he goes to a seer to ask her if anyone in this world can handle it, and if not, who can. So she tells him that only a boy named in another dimension could ever handle it. So he asks her to send him there, and she can. So she does, and it's Izuku Midoriya. So okay, this is all gonna be a quick summary, but the next part I'll go into more detail because I'm trying to get up to the part that I had to freaking stop recording now because my freaking dad said my name in it. So yeah, all right. So basically, he gives Izuku his powers. He transfers everything. He had to use his Jagon eye to transfer it, but also alter his DNA, so that way he's only 10% human. He is 39 flame demon, like flame monster, and 30, and another 39, 39 ice demon, or 40%, no, 39 and 39, 40, whatever, and 10%, human. So yeah. So anyways, Bago does pick on him, but they were friends at first. He also called Midoriya, because of him finding out that he has power, even though he's supposed to be quirkless. He calls him Deku because he denies the impossible. He is the impossible, basically. Where Araka says, Deku means, you basically can do anything. That's what Bakugo's saying he can do. So yeah, so that happens. They get along after that. After he realized he was bullying him and that it was wrong, that he shouldn't have done it. He basically blames himself and start cursing himself out to let his ego get in the way of their friendship. Because Deku didn't really ever use his power much, so yeah. So he's after Bakugo's hurting himself, with explosions. Zuko tells him to tell his mom. He tells him no, and then he just tells him to. So he says fine, and then so after all that happens, we're just gonna do a really quick summary because I'm just really, how it is when you get really mad because you're doing something and you're enjoying it, but then you have to stop because someone does something and you have to erase it. So yeah, that's what happened. That's what's happening. So yeah, basically, they decided to come up with taking people's money while Izuku's gonna take people's money while they're bullying him. So they've been doing that for a couple of years. He met Araka. They date for 3 years, and it's almost like, well, they've been dating, like, so they'll be dating for 3 years really. The UA exam will be their 3rd year, and like they Uraraka will just cheat on him. That's who's cheating because that's what I mostly see. I don't see anyone else, and then Deku finds a new girlfriend will be like someone else. I don't really know, but yeah. Anyway, so the thing is, Bako tells him Uraraka, during the 5th month of like the training, because everything was similar, the same thing canon, but the Sludge Villain, he just freaking like uses the fire, like summons out the sword, fires on the sword basically, green and black, like the outline, the fire is black with the green in it. And it just cuts right into the Sludge Villain until it's like a small piece, whereas it just has 2 eyes and a little mouth, basically. And then All Might will capture it. So yeah. So he won't even care. He'll just walk away. But anyways, after that happens, 5 months later, Bakugo saying Uraraka's been flirting with him, because the 3rd month was like their 3.5 anniversary, and Bakugo was like legit, like with Uraraka, like he says it's yours and Deku's anniversary, 3.5 years, and she goes, really? Oh, I didn't notice. I mean, I didn't make any plans with him, so you want to hang out, and all that. And then Deku sees them, and he starts, he confronts Uraraka about it, and she's just, she says, "Oh, that was my dad saying it. He never told me." But Deku sees right through it. That was a flat out lie. Like, it's suspicion. So during that it was 3 months. Then 2 months later, he just tells Deku that she's been flirting with me, and I've been, not been. He just shows him his phone. He doesn't delete anything. He has all the text messages right there. It's just been text messages, nothing else. So yeah, and Deku's like says, okay, this does confirm my suspicion, but I need to be absolutely sure 100%. And Bakugo and him say there's probably 2 ways we can do this. We can confront her, or we could just like have her be like like exposed, like someone has to be the bait or something. Like Bakugo just says, yeah, that is a little bit deceitful, but she did lie to you about the whole entire. He goes, yeah, about hanging out with me on our 3.5 year anniversary. No, not 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 would be good. Would be right. Because half is 5 from 6. So yeah. So basically, what happens is, they come up with a plan that Bakugo would flirt with her, ask her out, and that. Okay, so this is where we're starting. So this is what if Deku was cheated on / had hiei's powers. Alright, okay. So here's the thing. I'm gonna make this part real quick, and I may be jumping through it, but that's because I made this part already. I made this, I got through this all. It was like 50 something minutes long, and I had to delete all of that just because my dad said my name, and I am pissed at it. So yeah, this is gonna be a rush, and I'm sorry. Well, I'm pissed mentally because I had such a good ideas coming on, and I had to stop and redo this all. And I hate that. So yeah, 3rd freaking time. So basically, this is gonna be a little bit rushed, but yeah, okay. So we're starting off where Deku's texting Bakugo. He said he's about to turn the corner, and just get ready. As Bakugo puts up, basically puts a thumbs up, and then when Deku gets to the corner, he stops and he peeks over. Oh yeah. I almost forgot. Hiei, has on his birthday, 4th day birthday, Hiei, when not Hiei, when Deku blew out the candles, he Black Flames appears to happy birthday to Zuko. He gets the dragon tattoo, or the dragon on his arm. Basically, and they think it's a dragon tattoo. So, and then he summons out Black Flames and all that, blah blah blah. So yeah, over the years, demons have been coming around into the world of My Hero Academia, and just for just to try to fight people, see how strong they are from regular humans in their world. But Deku's been killing them. Bakugo knows it, and He just knows. He's been killing a lot of these demons because they don't look like humans when they're fully transformed. So yeah. So that's it. Also, Deku has trained the way that Hiei trained. Like extensively, he also had took kendo classes, basically, with the sword and stuff. And he improved so fast that the teachers were just awestruck by this. So they try to give him advanced ones, which he just passes to. So yeah, he does everything like he does. He does dangerous fights and all that too. But anyways, sorry, just want to get through this part so I can get to the part I was at. So I wanted to make this a very long one. So yeah. But anyways, so what happens is, Bako says, "Hey, Araka, I know you've been flirting with me, and I mean, I've been flirting with you a little bit too." She goes, "I know. So where's this going?" He goes, "So do you want to go out with me?" She goes, "It's about time you ask." And that shocks them both. He goes, and she wraps her arms around him, his neck, and he just says, "So, I mean, what's the reason why you wanted to date me all of a sudden? You've been with him for 2.5 years, almost, 2.5 years, basically 6 months. From when you started because of a year. So I'm just saying because of the years. So don't mess. Don't mind me. I'm just a little bit mad. But anyways, so yeah. So she just says like, oh, the reasons why he didn't move forward in the relationship. He's taking his time. We haven't even kissed yet. Baku's thinking you guys kissed, but you were asleep, and you guys suddenly moved your head. I got the video and stuff, and Deku's like saying, "Oh, so I wasn't moving forward fast enough. I wasn't, doing this or that, and yet you know, I was afraid because of what I've been doing." And Baku even knows this. He even says exactly the same thing. So Deku's just letting his anger, like his emotions, just bubbling, and he feels it. So he's starting to give him his demonic powers, and so he's starting to read Baku's mind. Baku's saying, like, I hate, he's just cursing out Uraraka, saying, how could you? He loved you and all that. And so Uraraka asks for a kiss, and they kiss, and Baku's just thinking, oh, I hate this girl already. I hate her so much right now. So yeah, so basically, Deku's, like, pissed. He body flickers away, and you're gonna say, oh, he's not a ninja. He is really fast, so I'm saying he's moving so fast it looks like he's body flickering, so I'm just saying it's body flickering. So yeah, he just does that. And his train basically he trains so much that he basically isn't like have any human like speeds. He is faster than everyone on the planet. All Might, he's faster than him because he's All Might. But for right now, he's faster. But later on, he won't. When he starts training more of his actual demonic powers, he'll be faster than All Might. So yeah, so basically what happens is Nejire, Sun Eater, and Mario are going to like their exam because to see if they got stronger while they were in UA and stuff and all that. It's just like something UA does. Like the students that were first years had to do exactly the same thing. Students that to go into a second year students that go in third year has to do exactly the same thing. So yeah, just take a little quiz and then a little bit of exam like the first years, but it's lessened to the extent where they don't have to fight robots. It's just showing off, like seeing what they can do, really. So yeah, so he moves so fast. He's in front of Nejire and Sun Eater and Mirio. Nejire does fall down on her butt after screaming, and there's a whole bunch of bloodless and killer intent in the air. So people, are basically having a hard time breathing because it's so big and because that pressure is like really heavy on them. Mirako and Izawa, bust through the door, ask where's the villain, but Deku looks right behind him because he sees, you know, he hears like Nedra saying, "Are you okay?" And he looked behind him and he sees her on the floor. He thinks, "Oh crap!" I'm letting my temper get to me. So he basically stops. He says, "Are you okay? Did I hurt? Are you all right? Does anything hurt?" And I saw when Mirko see this, they start to feel like that blows and kill her tent go away, and they looked at it, it was Izuku, and Aizawa is thinking, "Huh. Usually there's only two things that happen. No, there's only three ways. He's a villain trying to become a hero, or he's a villain and he can look for secrets. Something just really pissed him off and he wants to take his anger out on something, or three, something really bad happened to him and he doesn't know what to do. So basically, Mirko sees the bandage on his arm, on his right arm and stuff, because that's where the dragon, the mark of the dragon, the dragon of the darkness flame is on basically. And Deku can use his flames are always black, so basically he can summon out from any part of his body, including his left hand. It's not just his right arm, like his right hand and right arm. Basically, he can do it anywhere part of his body, and which hiei has thought that was really unique. So I guess when he was changing his DNA, he must have also changed the quirk gene that he would have had. I mean, that he still had inside of him. Everyone's born with the quirk gene, even if you don't have it in this one. So he changed it, and so now his flames combine. Well, his DNA, basically the demon DNA and the both DNAs, basically his fire and ice DNA combined with the human, you know, did sort of combine with the quirk gene. So basically, it's like and also all the powers are a little bit more different and maybe more powerful than Hiei's, which surprises him. But hey, it's whatever, different world, different stuff. But yeah, so he helps her up. He helps Nedre up, and he says, sorry about that. I was just pissed, and I was just trying to get in there and out. Just want to get in here and just get this day over and done with." And she goes, "It's all right, but that's not a good way to come here and act like." He just says, "Well, you try to have something happening to you that you spent 2 and almost 3 years with. Well, you spent 3 years with a girl, and then all of a sudden she does something to you, and yeah, she like realizes, saying, oh, she must have left him or she cheated on him, and this is where your miracle." And Aizawa do hear that, and Aizawa says out loud, says, "I figured that much." And she goes, "Wait, what do you mean?" He goes, like, "There's only three things that can ever have a guy or someone be that way. One, he's a villain and he's trying to get our secrets. Two, something happened to him. And three, he just wasn't in a good mood today. Or three, something happened to him. Something happened to him. That's number three." So yeah, he called it. He says, so Mirako, walks up to him, the rabbit. Just note, she is gonna be like a sister to him. Like she's gonna be like an older sister to him. And yeah, just want to let you guys know that. And the rabbit, in canon she's number 5, but she's still number 6 in this part now. So what happens is, she comes over. She asks him what's with the arm and all that. Why is it bandaged? He just says, "Oh, it's because of a." He says like a tattoo appeared on it when he was 4. That, and for some reason it has to do with his quirk, but he likes to keep it bandaged up all the time, so that way no one like ask him like, did he really get that tattoo on him? Like he's not old enough, he doesn't get in trouble by teachers and all that. So she was like, "Oh, all right." Bakugo walks up the stairs. He looks over to see Bakugo. Bakugo grins, and Deku just nods. And then all of a sudden, time just stops. And in those few minutes, like he was walking up the stairs. He sees him. Deku remembers him. He explains everything. He also tells him about how he also gave him his power, but he had to change his DNA. So basically, he explains this whole entire story. He explains everything, and so what happens is Deku's pretty amazed and shocked and surprised, and so that's why he knows about the word demon came to his head when he killed those people. He goes, "Yeah, those were demons. You did a good job killing them, because even the most lowest ranked demon can be the most dangerous to humans, including to these humans. So it doesn't matter. Humans are humans to him, to us. So, eh." He then like walks up to Deku, unlock like basically breaks the seals that he put on him when he gave him his power. So all of a sudden, a burst of power is exploding from him, and just it's overwhelming him. And then he feels like something's opening up on his head. The Jagon eye doesn't, it doesn't like appear unless I think it looks like it's just normal skin, like it's just like normal. There's like no like Jagon eye. There's like no eyeball there, only unless when you open it. So basically, it looks like normal skin to everyone the whole entire time, including to Deku. So, but because of his burst of power, it's finally opening, and he's screaming out of pain. He just says, "Stop! It hurts! Ah!" Basically because it's burn. It feels like it's a burn sensation, and he just says, "It'll pass." Basically, you've been born. You were given it, and you had it all this time. It is finally awoken. Basically, you won't be fatigued. You won't be tired. Not like when someone gets implanted into someone else into you. You won't lose anything. You've been having it all this time, so you've been gaining it. And so after everything went away, he has the eye open, and he says he'll explain more later. But I'm gonna train you even. I'm gonna make sure you get trained even harder now. So get ready, Izuku Midoriya, because you're gonna learn the way how to fight like a demon. And Deku just nods. So basically, in the real world, everything was happening in seconds. So the burn sensation did happen to him, with the eye and stuff. And he was huffing and puffing because he went on one knee. He's covering his head. But then, like, as they see Miracle and Aizawa, like, we're about to touch him, he just starts laughing. As then this, he takes his hand off of his head and everyone sees an eye. He asks for anyone to have, like, a bandage, some wrap around so that he can wrap it around it. As Aizawa does have some on him, as he just wraps it and he just basically like it just clips together. He says thank you, and then he just asks if he's all right. He says I'm fine, don't worry about it, and then he just body flicks away. Bakugo kind of grins at this. He says, "Huh, probably unlocked something with Skirp because of the pain he felt from Araka." So yeah, so basically, test happens. He aces it. He studied. He trained. Like it's crazy. He gets first. Bakugo, is trying to figure out a way how to make Araka feel upset. He's thinking about just texting her saying like, "Oh, Izuku, oh yeah, I forgot. Izuku did take a video of it of what she was saying. That's why he had his phone out still. That's why he had his phone out. Yeah, I forgot that. I forgot. But anyways, yeah, he took a video of them. But yeah, so basically, what happens is, he's just trying to figure out if he should tell Araka about Deku not being his friend no more. But he says he'll talk to him about it. So right when they get to the freaking zero, the talk about the combat portion, you know, what happens is this. He's about to do the exact same thing. Deku just uses telekinesis and just have him sit there. And then President Mike says about the 0 pointer is just an obstacle, and that's it. Aizawa says, "Oh, good. Oh my god, I would have looked stupid. I need to thank whoever did that." He doesn't know who did it, so, he'll find out it will be Izuku. Anyways, well, find out it'll be Deku, but anyways, after that was done, he grabbed Bakugo's shoulder and then just body flickered out of there, as they're like in the past where they're supposed to separate to go to their own fights. And Bakugo says, "So she's a cheater. She doesn't know nothing, and also she's she's annoying now." She just says, he just asks Deku, "So what are we gonna do about her?" He goes like, "Nothing. I'm just gonna break up with her." He goes, "Good." You've been with her for 3 years and this is how she treats you? She goes, "Yeah, I know, right?" He goes, "Yeah, dude, you can find someone better." He goes, "I will. Who knows?" And they bump fists. They says good luck to each other. Good luck. And then right when Deku turns around, he says, "Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I gotta tell you something. So meet me at my house tonight." Alright, I am gonna need to tell Mitsuki, my mom, and your dad something. and I'd rather have everyone there than do it individually. He says, "All right, see you afterwards, though." He goes, yeah. So basically, when Deku's walking over to his area, he bumps into a girl. She's about to fall over, and he just like catches her hand, and he goes, "Sorry about that." And this is Jiro. He pulls her up and says, "I wasn't paying attention. My bad." She goes, "No, no, it's fine." He was like, also, I forgot to mention, his hair has been going black, but he keeps on like putting some green in it because it's like that was his hair color, green, black and green, but it's just been going fully black. But it was like the green was already faded, like he was about to like, re-dye it again, but he's just not going to, so he's just let it go black, always be black now. And his hair is not that it spikes up a little bit. It doesn't like me like in that I don't know, the normal Deku look. So yeah. So anyways, and Deku is not looks like himself from canon. He looks like he's a he and Deku mix. So like he looks like he then he looks like his old self. So yeah, he's not like some like innocent looking boy. He is like the type of kid that would be like a bad boy, but he's not. He does like tell her he's really sorry, and he obviously she does a good job. And the exam, she says thank you, and they leave. So what happens is Deku's in the front. Uraka finds it, but he's in like in a crowd of people until like he moves out. Uraka's looking for him, so he's near the gate, and Uraka walks up to him, and she says, "Hey, babe," and he just goes, "Hi, how are you?" She goes, "Good. I was wondering what happened to you, and you didn't meet up like we, to say happy, third year together." He goes, "Yeah." How can I say this? President Mike, saying about like when the doors open up, just run because there's no time, there's no countdown for when you have a villain attack. So he just says, Deku just looks at her and just says, "We're done." And she goes, "What? Why?" He goes, "Oh, easy, you're a cheater." She goes, he's not even looking at her. She goes, "What do you mean I'm a cheater?" He goes, "Yeah, legit, you cheated on me with Bakugo." She goes, "Where's your proof? Because I never did, and I'm offended at you." And then, he pulls out his phone, he pulls up the video, he plays it, and then he plays it all the way to a part. And says, "Oh, and here, and this is your reason for breaking up with me." And basically, it's just like saying, "Oh, he never showed his power much, so I don't really know if he's really had a quirk and all. He's not. He doesn't act like, hold on, everyone." Okay, hasn't put my fan up, but basically, in the video, she says, "Oh, I don't know if he really has a quirk. He doesn't really, you know, show us emotions much. He doesn't. We haven't kissed yet. It's been like 2.5 years. We almost like it's been 3 years already, and we haven't kissed." And then he pauses and says, "Oh yeah, we have kissed." And then he pulls up the video when, he literally Bago says, "Today is freaking like the same day as the UA exam, but the 1 year before." As then he says like Uraka fell asleep, and there's the nerd, with her put in his bed, and then as in if so is like he's about to like no he moves his hand on her forehead to bring her hair out of her face, and he's about to kiss her on the forehead, but then she basically moves up and they kiss, and basically she's shocked that saying they actually did kiss, but she was asleep. She asks, "Why you never told me?" He goes, "Because you might have said I was being a creep, and also I thought you were awake." Because sometimes that does happen. People pretend they're sleeping. She goes, "Well, if you told me, I would have never done this and all that. We have been together longer." He was like, "Nah, here's the thing. I have trouble showing my emotions. I can't help it. But you don't care. So here's the thing. We're done. We're through. And have fun being alone or being with Bakugo. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just done with you." As then the gates open up and he says, "So, see ya." And then all of a sudden he just blitzes right through everything. Like, no one can see him. They just hear multiple explosions happening. And that's because he's destroying robots. Mirko and Aizawa was gonna go there, check and see if he was alright and all, but they decided not to. The third years, already did their tests right when everyone was before, right when Aizawa, not Aizawa, when as Mike was talking, you know, they already got their test done. So, the big three are watching. They see like Deku just annihilating them. He's using his fists, and then he starts using his fire, and then he summons the sword. Basically, the black flames. It's basically he summons them in his hand, and then next it goes up, and then it splits in two, and then a sword appears, and then he just starts slicing right through not through the demons, right through the robots, and he even puts it on the green. Yeah, the green basically on the sword and everything. It's green and black, like black outline, green, and he just starts slaying right through more robots, and it's just going quicker. He even summons out multiple flames and just shoots them out right at but they're in sword form, and they go right into the different robots. And everyone's in shock by this, even Nezu, Aizawa, Mirko, and All Might. Nezu's reading his file as it says, he has a it says he has and does not have a quirk. It's hard to explain as it describes it, because it's always like his power keeps on growing. He has basically telekinesis. He's able to do things like lift heavy objects and move people. He basically can do many things. He has superhuman strength, speed, and all that. And agility. His senses are heightened. So yeah. So after he gets like around 300 points, straight up, just 300. Ida doesn't know, but anyways, still was looking for the guy who the person who stopped him from making a fool of himself, but he doesn't know who it is still. So basically, what happens is Deku takes care of all the robots, with the Jagon eye. Basically, he's like 10 kilometers or 10 feet away, and he sees the robot in the Araka. So basically, he just doesn't really care about Araka. He just wants to destroy the zero pointer because he wants to see how strong he really is now. So basically, he runs over. Hiei is telling him about a certain ability that he has, which he needs to just trust him. It's called the Dragon of the Darkness Flame. He explains how he can also summon out multiple ones now, but the multiple ones are just for one time only. Alright, he goes, alright, so when he appears, everyone's running away. He looks at the zero point, he looks down at Araka. She says, Izuku, help! So basically he just turns around and he's gonna walk away. She's thinking, no, does he really not care about me anymore? Did I really mess up? And then all of a sudden, he turns around, but he's saying, Dragon of the Darkness Flame! And then when he shoots it out, basically, the dragon just basically goes right towards her. Right towards it. The dragon is Hiei. So basically he's controlling the wearer. Because he knows about the hero society and how they view things. And destruction's bad, so he's controlling it. How much, power, not how much power is going into it, but basically how much buildings can take and all that. So, he's just making sure they don't get destroyed. He doesn't lose any points. And when it does hit the zero pointer, it basically goes right into the body, comes up, and it's just going up in the air. And all of a sudden, he says, now, summon out two more. It's basically, he just puts out more flames. He summons out two more dragons. As I said, they both come over, they go up in the air right away and go over to the sides. And basically hit the zero pointer. And then they go right over, right under, and then go right through the zero pointer from the bottom of it, and right through the head, as it blows up, but it bursts into black flames as it is basically getting destroyed just like that. As then all of a sudden, the dragons are just roaring, as then it just, boom, disappears. And Izuku's arm, basically, the bandages that were around his arm are gone. Basically, his arm is a little bit burnt, but not really, because he can take that like a champ. But, yeah, so he just says, first time using it. It's not bad, right? And he's pretty impressed by it. He goes, my first time, I burnt my whole arm. He was like, well, I burnt my arm, but I don't feel it. And Uraka still has the rubble on her. So basically, he just lifts it up with his mind, or with the telekinesis, and just moves it over from her. And that's it. He just walks away. He just says you're gonna have to train, so we're gonna have to work on that. And he goes, all right, whatever, teach. So yeah, Recover Girl comes over to him. She asks if she can see his arm. She basically just kisses it, and then all of a sudden it doesn't. It heals, but it's like there was like no nerve damage, nothing. She's surprised by it, but she does say, just be careful. That's dangerous. Type of flames. It should have we don't know if it will burn you next time. He says, then what's the fun in that if I have to be careful? And she's about to say something, but he just disappears right in front of her eyes, right in front of everyone's. And the buzzer does go off right afterwards, and that's why she's out there. So yeah. But anyways, so you know, Ida knows now it was him, was Izuku. So he's gonna thank him next time he sees him. She goes over to Uraraka. She kisses her ankle, basically. Yeah. Deku is already outside. Baku is not waiting on him, but he saw what he did, and he was shocked by it. So he basically got his stuff and just ran out there. Nejiro, Mirio, and Sun Eater are just in shock by this, and Nejiro is shocked but amazed. And Jiro even saw this on the screen, and she's just same thing. She didn't know someone could have that type of power. As then when Baku gets out there, Deku's already waiting for him. He goes, "What took you so long?" He goes, "Whatever, man. You gotta tell me, how the heck did you summon out that fire dragon? And then two more? Seriously, how strong are you?" He was like, "I don't know. But that's the thing. I gotta tell you, your mom, your dad, and my mom something. All right? Come over for dinner, and I'll explain everything afterwards." He goes, "All right." So basically, we're skipping over, that to the night, and then after basically Bago comes over, they eat dinner, and Bago says, "All right, what you gotta tell us?" He says, "After dinner." He goes, "All right." So basically, he tells what happened to him with hiei, and then he brings up the Jagon eye, which his mom freaks out over, and then all of a sudden glowing light. Hiei introduces himself. He tells him he's from another dimension, a reality, and that what happened to him. But he can show them his life from the day he was born till now. So basically, he shows them his past. He also explains that these are demons, not humans. As they understand this, Bako understands even more, and so he shows them everything in detailed explanation going through it. As then, how he talks about how he was raised by mercenaries, he was killing and all that, and that's what the demon world is, a kill to be killed world. You can't help it. He says that's how it is. But he did say after years and years he met a friend, named Karama, and then he met the spirit detective, Urameshi. You say Urameshi, and met the other guy too. I forget what his name, but he can summon the sword out. He was friends with Yusei, but he can summon a spirit sword and all that. So he explains how his training was and all that stuff, and then he had to change Deku's DNA and all that. So basically, he says he is. I would say he's 10% human. He's basically 39. 89 out of 50 is 39. So he's 39 to 30 and 39% fire demon and ice demon and all that. And he has a lot of resistance to stuff, and basically he really won't get cold at all. He'll be all right, but he's basically really powerful. He says, he basically also says that this power is demonic, but he also says, but he was an evil person. He is a good person now. And he says he can read people's minds, erase people's memories, and all that. He just tells them. But he's gonna have to train Izuku for this week and just a little bit of it, and what he can do, really. So yeah. And then after that, Inko, she is a little bit scared, not because of her son, because of of who hiei is, and so she's worried about her son's gonna become exactly like that. But he did have like a family. He did change, and it's just hard for him to show his emotions. And he did have a sister, and she is still alive, but it was like he wanted to pass on his power. So basically, he does like then he does remember this what the seer said, that when the boy comes back to your world, or back here to this world, you will also return, but you will be still a part of him. Just you both are coming back. So basically, Zuko will go back over to Hiei, to Yu Yu Hakusho's world. So that happens. Okay, so now we can get into the freaking part I wanted to do, but I couldn't get into because of my dad said my name. So yeah. Anyways, okay. So after training for about a week, he has learned multiple things of what he can do. He can basically shoot fireballs. He can. Well, he already knew that, but he also tells that because of the quirk gene, he did change. Like the powers did change a little bit. He's not gonna lie. It's really unique and interesting. He's pretty impressed by it, and it's pretty impressed that you have been getting so quickly on this. And Bako and him have been training, and Bako did tell Uraraka that him and Zuko are not friends no more, and that he has to work on his relationship again because of everything, and saying like, "Can't believe I fell for you and all that, blah blah blah." Just some like random crap, just like trying to get her upset, which. Inko knows. Like she did ask him, how was your day? He tells him about, he says he'll explain everything that night too. So she says, so what about Uraraka? Did you want to hang out with her today just because of your 3-year anniversary? And of you guys being together. And then Bako and him explained it. Mitsuki, was freaking pissed off. Inko was just really pissed. And they, said what they did, and Bako wasn't really cool, like really wasn't like in it, but he wanted to like expose her for being a cheater, so that's the only reason why he went along with it. But if it wasn't any other way, she would have lied. He said he already he already confronted her once about how it was like our 2.5 years of being together, and she wasn't with me, she was with Bako that day, and yeah, she made up a lie, and I could easily tell it was a lie. So, yeah. So, I didn't want to confront her again. And, Inko says, good, don't, be with a girl like that. So he says, yeah. Also, he does, he tells Bunko he showed her the video of my first kiss with her. And she said if I only told her, she wouldn't have done that, done what she did and all that, and blah, blah, blah. It was all that BS, she says. He goes, yeah, I understand that. So, after that, okay, so basically Nezu does give him a scholarship, after they get the letter, Mitsuki, her husband, Inko, Bako, they all just, because Bako got in, they all just, celebrate. So, yeah. So that weekend ends. As it did over the weekend, he says, you can, you don't have to train that weekend. But basically, he has done a lot of training. He has worked more on his physical abilities. He has worked on his telekinesis. He basically has just done a lot. And I mean a lot. So, yeah. So, this is going to be while he's at UA, Uraraka's going to try to get him back, but he's not going to really care. I'm thinking about giving him one girl to date, or, 2, because why not? I mean, because, 2, because one reason because of Madara, and, he was, Lucifer, but I'm only just do, 2 next, so, I mean, I don't know who to do, who for him to ship with, but you guys can give me suggestions. I already talked about, Nejire, and, Jiro, but anyways, so, yeah, but anyways, so, so basically, he's packing everything for UA. His mom asked him if he forgot anything. He says, I don't think so. Also, he did kind of talk to the police about his sword that weekend, how he says he can summon it, and he'd rather have it on him at all times. And they said, are you in school still? He says, yeah. So he says, what school? UA. He's going to. So they contacted Nezu, and Nezu says, yes, he did, summon it, but he's allowed, as long as he doesn't use it for anything, evil, just like let it be out, and the police give him a license to have it out. He puts it registered, and how he says he can summon it. So he has his sword out. He has a license to always have it out, and this license will never expire. They said it's something new that they're just doing, so don't worry about it. I mean, really, just don't worry. It's cool. His hero costume is gonna be just like Hiei's outfit. He'll have like everything like be like just black cloak, and then all of a sudden he'll just like throw it off of him, and it'll be like just a ripped up shirt like what's in the picture. So yeah, that's it. And his mom does not care about his hair go black. It's still his, her baby. So she just like doesn't care. Which he says he thought she really cared. And he says no, as long as you're my son, still it doesn't matter. I love you, all that. So he has a sword out. He has a sword on him. He walking to the UA. He has on the train. People are seeing him with the sword. People are wondering like why the heck does he have a sword? And all that, so some kid asked him, he says, "Are you a hero?" And it's like, "I'm a hero in training, but I got this already registered so that way I can have it out just in case if I ever need it." And they like, "Wow, that's so cool." He goes, "Yeah." And he just like, he's acting nice to kids. And he's the only person he's ever gonna be mean to is really Uraraka, but if a girl really does like cheat on him again, he will be mean to them too. But yeah, it's only gonna be one cheat. No, not like another one. So yeah. So basically, when he gets over to UA, Nezu's right there. He hands him. I mean, he basically says, "Oh, welcome. You are Izuku Midoriya, right?" He goes, "Yes, I am." He's, "Well then, I'd like to give you this." As basically he gives him a an earring. Reasons why. Well, actually no. No, he gives him two earrings. One's that no. A piercing? I don't want to change. I don't want to like have to give him like a watch or a ring or like a necklace. I want to change up. So let's just say he gives him a piercing, and he goes, "What's this?" He says, "Oh, it's so like you can you know get into UA quick, and we have it registered. The system registers it as it says electronic signal as he explains it." So I can go into like any class. I mean, like any school part of school without getting in trouble. He goes, "Yes." He goes, "Cool." And you can also be in the support course, or you can meet with them already and get some nice stuff made for you. And he goes, "Cool." So that's why my hero costume was said I didn't pay for no money. He goes, "Yes." He goes, "All right, thanks." So he puts it. He just basically puts it in right away. He basically heats up the needle, and it's like an eye thing. Yeah, like an eyebrow. Uh-huh. Yeah, an eyebrow piercing. I don't know. I just don't want to give him I just don't want to give him like a watch or a bracelet or just no. It's a bracelet. Yeah, it's a bracelet. Freak that idea. It's a bracelet. He puts it on and he just walks in. And it's not an ordinary bracelet. It's like a real like chain bracelet and all that. He puts it on his left arm, and he is saying, "This is pretty interesting." He goes, "Yeah, I know, right?" And then he says also about like Principal Nezu saying like, "How was a freaking mouse talking?" He goes like, "Oh, probably because of quirk." He goes, "I didn't know quirks could do that." He goes like, "Quirks can do anything nowadays. That's why people thought my power was a quirk." So yeah. So he walks in. He looks at the map. He was just walked over to class 1A. He sees Mirko and Aizawa talking. He goes, "Hey, it's you two." He just like walks up and says that, and Mirko says, I think the bunny girl, the bunny lady, number 5 hero in canon, says, "Yeah," and she goes like, "Hey, it's you," and she congratulates him on his job at the the UA exam and like how strong he was. She so she never suspected that he could basically summon that with his fire. It was I could do a lot. I just need to train a lot more with it. That was my very first time ever doing that. She says, "Wow, that was amazing." And then she says, "If you ever need I can always help you out with some pointers on, if you ever need a fighting style or something." And he just says, "All right." And he just basically just says he just basically says out loud to her, says, "I don't know why, but you seem like a big sister type." And she goes, "Huh?" He goes, "Yeah, it just seemed like a big sister." And he just walks away as she's going "What the freak?" She just thinks that, and Aizawa just says, "Huh. So the one who loves fighting the most seems like a big sister type. Alright. Cool. Alright." And he just walks away. So, she's wondering if he has a sister and all. So she basically runs over and asks him, as he just says, "No, I don't." So she says, "Alright, fine. Then you consider me a big sister. Here's my contact, number if you ever need me, little brother." As he just laughs, he goes, "Alright." Name's Zuku. She goes, "Alright, Zuku. Seriously, if you ever need me, call me." He goes, "Alright." But she does grab his arm and says, "But what happened to you that was made you have all that bloodlust and, hatred?" And even Aizawa's curious, so he just tells him, "My girlfriend cheated on me. 3 years. It was our third year, the day of the UA exam." And she just covered her mouth, and Aizawa's just eyes widen. He goes, "Yeah, I mean, you said that, but I mean, I did not know it was that day. That was your anniversary. Yo, that's he says, yo, that's kind of messed up, right?" He goes, "Yeah, and I found out who it was with. But, we're cool. We're cool, me and him. I mean, we're cool because it was an idea just to try to expose her." And, he explains it as Miracle says that's kind of wrong, but at the same time, if this girl really was lying to you about the whole entire, your 2.5 anniversary, she hanged out with him and then you, then yeah, I'm going to believe her for a second. He goes, "Yeah, I know, right? It seems really suspicious." Because after I left her with him, I went back over to her dad and I showed him the text, and he said, "No, I never did send that." So yeah, he talked to me. Her mom said she saw Ochako texting at that time, and yeah. So they said, so they asked me is there something wrong? He says, "I think your daughter may be trying to cheat on me with my best friend Bakugo." With Bakugo, and they say no, she won't. He goes "Well, if she does, I'll break up with her, and if she comes out crying, you'll know what happens." So yeah, and the father says, "If you even hurt my daughter in any way, even emotional, I will." He goes, "What? Come and find me and beat me up and kill me? You don't know what I've done. You don't know what I can do." As in all of a sudden, he did say he did let off a little bloodless and killer intent in the room, as they were suddenly scared. As he just says he had a grin on his face. He goes, "So you want to come after me? You may be prepared to lose your life," I told him. And then I stopped and I said, "Alright, bye." And Mirako, as I would go, "Okay, yeah, that's kind of a good thing, but also a bad thing." It was "Yeah, I mean, it's what it is." But anyways, so yeah. And then he says, "By basis Mirako," he says, "By basis Miracle," basically, and just leaves. And Mirako is just laughing and saying, "Well, he may not be related by blood, but hey, at least I have a brother now." And Aizawa says, "Yeah, with a student, just do it. Don't do anything stupid." He goes, and she just slaps him right across the head. She goes, "He's my brother. I would never." As he was already filling in the role as big sister, he goes, "Yes." So she leaves happy because I mean, I don't know if she really has any a little brother or sister, but basically, she's just happy because now she has someone to talk to, someone just to be there for her, an actual family member would be, So yeah, I don't know. Just putting that in, yeah. So, what happens is, he gets to class 1A. People are there. Momo, Todoroki, Mina, Kaminari, Kirishima, Bako's already there. And Ida runs up to him and says, thank you for what you did. I would have looked like an idiot if I, didn't, if you didn't basically do that. And he goes, it's no problem. And then he asks why you didn't run over to help out that girl, though. And he just says, oh, that's my ex-girlfriend. Don't worry about it, though. And, yeah, so he walks over to Bakugo. I mean, he doesn't walk over to Bakugo. He walks over to see Bakugo's away. He's just glaring at him. Well, he's not like glaring at him. He's just looking away from him. But he can read. He texted Bakugo saying he can read his mind, as he does also send out a telepathic link to Bakugo, basically. But Bakugo says, so, we're gonna act like this for a while? He goes, yeah. Let's give it a couple of days, then we'll act like, we'll try to become friends again. Or at least acting like we aren't friends right now, then we'll act like we are. Are trying to become best friends again. And he goes, alright. Oh yeah, I told Ochako that I don't want to see her again or be with her anymore. She was never my type anyways. And Deku just laughs in his head. So yeah. So everyone starts talking. Ochako comes in and yeah. She tries to apologize to Deku. Deku's not even listening to her. He just staring at the outside. And that's it. He's just doing that. He's just staring outside the window. Ochako says, Izuku, please, just listen to me. And Aizawa, comes in and says, I want to shut it. It takes you this long just to be quiet. It just won't do. The only persons are being quiet is that boy over there and that kid over there. So he points to Izuku and Bakugo. He says, alright, everyone gets in their costumes and then get out on the field because we're not going to go to that orientation. And all that. So basically, he just, Ochako would not stop talking, basically, so, yeah. He's just a little angry, because he wanted to get this class over and done with as soon as possible. So, yeah, so basically what happens is, everyone gets their costumes. Deku, not the costume, their gym uniform. Deku just walks out. When the changing room, everyone's getting changed. Kirishima says asks him how much workout he does. He goes, a lot, and I don't stop. Not even when I'm tired. He goes, no, that's manly. He goes, yeah, whatever. So he puts on the shirt. Mineta does exactly the same thing. Deku just basically summons out the sword, holds it to how. Okay, never mind. So basically, it's the blade's right underneath his head, Mineta's head, and he says, get away from the wall now. And Mineta does, and Deku just sheaths the sword, and then puts his hand right on it. But he does say, if anybody's near this hole, get away from it now, because it's about to go on fire. And then all of a sudden, the hole just melts all the way through. And, Jiro, heard that, she got away, and she saw the little flames came out. And she goes, wow, that's amazing. And, now everyone asks what she meant, so she explains what Deku just said. And, there was a guy who was being a pervert, he basically threatened his life. The girls want to thank him, and, they ask who is Izuku Midoriya, and, she, Araka, doesn't ask, so people are asking, so Mina asks, do you know him, Araka? She goes, yeah, I do. He's my ex-boyfriend. And Mina and everyone else are shocked. They asked how did it, ended. They said they ended on a 3rd-year anniversary, and she basically just tells the truth. And the girls look at her like, what? Why? He goes, because he wasn't moving in relation fast enough. It was 2.5. It's been 3 years, and I thought we never kissed. But in actuality, we did, but I was just asleep. So, and they say, how mad is he? And she says, he won't even talk to me. That's how mad he is. And his best friend, he's not even best friends with his, he's not friends with his best friend no more because of me. I feel bad. And they say, Mina says, it's alright, he'll get over it. But no. He will get over it, but he will never forgive her. He'll talk to her after a couple months, but he'll never forgive her, basically. So, yeah. So when everyone's outside, Aizawa gives Izuku the ball. Well, gives Deku the ball. He says, "Throw it with everything you got." Um, but what was your last score when you threw the ball? When you didn't use your quirk? He says, 150 meters. As Aizawa says, "Wait, what?" He goes, "Yeah, 150 meters." He goes, and that was only me using at least half my strength because I was lazy. He goes, "All right, throw without your quirk." Deku just throws the ball without his quirk. He gets 750, which shocked everyone. Hiei just says, that wasn't your full power." He goes, "I know. I'm making them think I'm only that strong." He goes, "All right, use the Dragon of the Darkness flame to launch it." He goes, "I will." So he gives him the ball again. He says, "All right, now use your quirk." As in, all of a sudden, Deku just takes off the bandages around his arm because he puts on the ball. He takes off the bandage around his arm, and Aizawa knows what he's gonna do, and Bakugo does. As no one else, even Jiro and Ochako, Ida, anyone who saw it knows. As they go like, "Wait, what the?" As then all of a sudden, Deku just holds the ball as it's on fire. It's not even melted, and Todoroki sees that fire. He goes like, "Fire! Wait, black fire? My father can't make that, but still, fire, father." He just has like trauma. Has like image of his father, but basically, it's not. When he's trying to figure out why it's black flames, and then all of a sudden Deku says, "Dragon of the Darkness flames," and then he just launches the ball with the because of the dragon's mouth, and it just goes flying through the air, and it just goes higher and higher and higher until it gets into the atmosphere, and it's infinity. Deku's arm is not burned, but basically there's like fire on it, and he just grins, and then it just like extinguishes. Like basically, it just snuffs out, and as Bakugo just says to himself, "Show off." Everyone's like pretty psyched about that, but Uraraka was just shocked about it that he got infinity. Same thing with Aizawa, but hey, everything goes. Everything that happens in canon. He's on in last place. No one Mineta gets kicked off. So they're gonna replace him with Shinso. Shinso comes in, all that. Nah, 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 nah. Kendo. We're gonna get Kendo in. Kendo's gonna replace him. So yeah, I just don't want Mineta in this one. So Kendo comes. Kendo's gonna be transferred over. So let's say like after that, he says everyone has takes the rest of the day off and do whatever. That's all for the day. And basically, what happens is, after Deku gets changed and everything else, even Bako, he's walking away. Bako runs up and says, "Hey, Izuku, come on, man, please. I'm sorry." People are seeing this, even Araka, and Deku just not talking. And he says, "Come on, we were friends." And then he just says, "Yeah, we were friends, but you let my freaking girlfriend flirt with you. You never told me, and then you hit on her, and then you asked her out, and you kissed. So, yeah, would a friend really do that?" And then he just walks away. Bako's just freaking cursing him out, and like not Bako. Bako is cursing him out, and then Uraraka. And people are seeing this and hearing this, and Uraraka's upset. Basically, but hey, they're just like inside their heads are just smiling because that's what they want her to believe. So yeah. So after that, a couple of days pass, and so what happens is it's hero versus villains time. So All Might comes in. He says, "Look at me coming in like a hero." Deku was an All Might fan, but like a major fan like he was in canon. Also, he does like analyze quirks, but not that much as in canon. So yeah. So basically, everyone's cheering besides Deku. He doesn't really mind. All Might is just like whatever to him. Everyone gets their hero costumes. Everyone gets changed. Deku just comes out in all black. Even like a cloak with a scarf on, and it's just like, but no one understands why it's not looking flashy. He just says you don't need to be flashy. You just need to get the job done any way possible. And as soon as All Might hears that, and that's like kind of like okay, but whatever. I mean, okay, that's a little bit dark, but okay. He says that to himself. So yeah, during the so basically, he says the same things about the heroes. Araka, would try to come up to Deku and say they got her hero suit on. It's a little tight on her. Deku doesn't even give a glance. He doesn't even care. He just walks over. But then he sees Jiro. He says, "Hey, I like your hero outfit," and she goes, "I like yours." And even though it's all just like that, he goes, "Oh yeah, this is part of it. My actual hero outfit's underneath. It's ready for a fight and all that." So she goes, "Oh really?" He goes, "Yeah," and they're like outside the gate, but next thing you know, they see the third year's class. They see Mirio, Nejire, and Sun Eater. As Nejire sees him, as she just says that she's gonna be right back, as she runs over real quick over to Zuko, and just says, "Hey, it's me." He goes, "Oh yeah, you're the girl that I scared by accident." Sorry again. She goes, "It's no problem. I'm glad you got in." He goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah. Um, mind if I crap. She says, "Oh, I don't have a pencil on me or a pen." He goes, "Oh, I got you." And she goes, "Wait, what do you mean?" He goes like, "Oh, just just tell me the name or number or something." She goes, "Yeah, I want to give you my number so that way we can talk." And he says, "All right." So basically, he pulls up his arm, like his left arm, and he all of a sudden just tells me the number. So she tells him her number, and he just writes it, and all of a sudden flames just appear on his arm. And he says, "It'll be there for a while, so don't worry. I won't forget it. It won't extinguish." She goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, don't worry." And she goes, "Thanks," and she runs away. She runs back to her teacher and all that. And they ask, Mirio asks, "What did she do?" She just said, "Oh, I just gave my number." And they say, "A first year?" He goes, "Yeah, I mean, I'm interested, to know him better and trying to figure out why everything, he was all that, what he did and how he did it and all that stuff." So yeah, this is just spicing some stuff, and then Jiro thinks to herself, maybe I should give him my number two later. I mean, he is what he is, so she thinks he's cute and all, but yeah. Araka's just pissed. So, and everyone can see it, even including Bakio, and he's just smiling, and Deku doesn't care. So yeah, so everything does like the same thing, like in random. Bako knows his, Deku and him knows his Deku knows his fighting style very well. Bako knows Deku's fighting style very well, but at the same time, he has improved on it, so it's like a little bit harder now. So yeah, and so what happens is, same thing like in canon. Uraraka versus Bakugo, Ida. Wait, it's Uraraka and Deku versus Bakugo, Ida, and hero team versus villains. So Uraraka's just smiling. Jiro's kind of a little bit upset, and he just walks over to All Might and just says, "Yo, All Might, I can take this on by myself." He goes, "What? What do you mean?" He was like, "Yeah, these are chump. Like I can just take them on by myself. I don't need Uraraka. She's a liability to me." No, he doesn't say Uraraka. He says Ochako. And Ochako is hearing this. And All Might says, "I'm sorry, but it cannot be done." He goes, "All right, fine, but I can take them on by myself." And Bako says, Bako just like grinning to himself because one, he's thinking to himself, "Yes, I can fight Deku again, and I don't have to hold back." And two, he's thinking, "But I'm gonna get my butt kicked." And so he's just smiling because he's scared and excited. He doesn't know what to be, so he just smiles. So yeah. So, they get the bomb in. He's making a plan with Ida. He tells Deku's strengths. He asks about the weaknesses. He says he doesn't even know. And Ida's like, "Oh my god, no. Why?" He goes, "I know, right?" He goes, "Yeah, we should be afraid," he says to Ida. And Ida says, "I agree with you." And then Uraraka's trying to come up with a plan. And Deku finally says, "Just shut it, just watch." And when he says, hero, hero team can go, Deku just walks in. He just he basically takes off the cloak that he has and the scarf and just throws it up in the air. And they see his actual fighting outfit. And, well, every girl's like, like, they, he is muscular and all that. So, but he did, like, ask for, like, a bigger, like, UA gym clothes. But when his actual hero clothes, they actually see what he looks like, and they're just like, oh, wow, okay. Did not expect that. Because, well, he is really strong, and the way he looks is, I'm not gonna lie, really is muscular, so, just give him the same look. So, yeah. So, Deku just walks in, Uraraka's falling right behind him. Bakugo is just waiting on the third floor. And, yeah. Deku, Uraraka's just talking to him. He's not really paying attention. And then, when they get to the third floor, it's in a big open area. And Bakugo says, Alright, Zuko, let's do this. Bury the hatchet already. And Deku just doesn't talk. He has a sword on his side, he doesn't even take it out. So, he just, like, throws it over to the side, though, and he gets in a fight stance. And Bakugo's thinking, okay, I have a chance. And then he thinks about the fight that they had, the training session that was on the beach the day before they got their, letters. He got his butt whooped so badly, he says, oh, I'm in trouble. Then Bakugo kind of backs away, and then Deku says to him, goes like, hey, what's wrong? He goes like, mercy? He goes, mercy? Mercy is for the weak. And all of a sudden, he just disappears. Bakugo's like, wondering, okay, where is he? He's looking all around, and then Deku's right in front of him as he just punches Bakugo right in the stomach, sending him flying into a wall. As everyone's just seeing that, as Uraraka's in shock. And then Bakugo comes out and explodes. As they both start doing hand-to-hand combat. Bakugo's, throwing explosions while he's actually doing with his palms, basically. And Deku's just, like, blocking them, dodging with his arms, too. And then all of a sudden, he just grabs him, judo throws him over, and punches the ground. When he try to punch Bakugo in the face, Bakugo blocks it. And his hand goes right into, like, the floor as it breaks. And, oh my, saying, this kid, he's trying to kill him. He goes, as Bakugo says, yo, I thought you were holding back. He goes, I am. It's harder to control it because of, well, you're weak. And then he goes, what do you say? He goes, you're weak. I literally can freaking kill you with one shot, and I'm literally holding back. I'm only using, like, 30% of my power. But no, Deku's literally not even using that. He's just trying to, like, piss off Bakugo. And Bakugo knows this, and he's just playing along. So basically, Deku is actually using 100% of his strength. And Bakugo knows this. But he knows how Deku goes light. So every punch that hits Bakugo, it's actually lighter and not breaking anything. So basically, they're just fighting and they're just smiling. And Bakugo, basically is huffing and puffing while Deku's just fine. He says, so, are we good? And Deku says, thinks about it, goes, yeah, we're good. And also he appears right behind him, but he says, but you're not going to win this. And he just chops him on the back of the neck, knocks him out. So yeah, Uraraka saw this as Deku then puts out his hand as his sword comes right back to him. He just looks at Uraraka and just starts walking to the stairs. Uraraka just runs after him, and then they find the bomb where the area the bomb is. As then Deku just freaking kicks the door open. Ida's there. He says, "Haha, heroes, you're not gonna." As then Deku just runs right at him. And sword on fire already, and he just does like one slash. Everyone sees this, as then basically he only used the tip of the blade to go right through the armor, as then all of a sudden the top of the armor and the legs, they're basically the chest, even the mask and the arms, and just like the leg part, like say like to his knees, they're cut. The armor was destroyed, and he sheaths the sword, and basically it just like falls off of him, and he goes, do you surrender? He goes, yes, I surrender. As hero team wins. He surrendered. That's it. That's it. Everyone is surprised by this. So now when they get back to the monitor room, Deku carries Bakugo. Basically, they get to the monitor room. They basically went about how they did, and Momo says, "Oh, he should have made a plan for Araka and all that, but he executed the way he wanted to. So even though she wants to say he didn't do well, he did. So yeah, so she can't say anything. MVP goes to Deku. Um, and then after that, I mean, he did grab his cloak and scarf and everything, put that back on, and he just watches everyone's fights. He evaluates everyone. Kendo is in part of Class 1A, so he can give her some pointers on some combat before fighting style if she needs to, he thinks. So yeah, Todoroki says it's strong but weak. That's all. But oh yeah, different. So basically, after that, after everyone gets get out of their hero costumes and all that, Jiro does ask him, for his number, and she gives his number. He gives his number to her. She gives her number to him, and then he puts down Nejire's number, and then he texts her saying, "Hey, it's me, Zuko Midoriya. You got put your number in, so you're good." She goes, "Cool." And then he gets a text from Mirko. She asks, "Oh, how was the hero versus villains?" He says he won, but he worked by himself. She was really goes, "Yeah, that girl Araka was my teammate." Well, not Araka, Ochako Araka. And she goes, "That's the girl that broke up with you." That cheated on you. He goes, "Yeah." She goes, "So you won by yourself?" He goes, "Yeah, I basically did." It's pretty cool. I made my best friend fight me, and he said, "Are we good?" And I felt how sorry he was, so we're good now. And I basically made a sword that was on fire, and nearly killed one of my classmates, but I looked like I was about to kill him to his eyes. She goes, "That's not the way a hero should be." And he goes, "Yeah, I know, but it's the way I want to do things." She just says, "Oh, okay, whatever." That's all. So yeah. And that's where I'm going to leave it off, everyone. I hope you do enjoy this video. I'm going to upload when it's, during my time for work. Anyways, bye, everyone.